What's up, guys? This is Brian with Simpleman's Comics in collaboration with Comic Book Speculation and Investing. And in this video, I'm going to give you my picks for all the comics that are coming up from the publishers outside of Marvel and DC that are releasing in September that you can pre-order right now during the month of July. Remember, all these picks are coming right out of July's previous catalog, which is what's on the screen right now. And also remember that by pre-ordering these comics, you can save anywhere from 20 to 50% off the cover price. Check with your LCS, make sure they pass that discount on to you if you're going to pre-order through them. If not, check online. A lot of times they'll show you the titles and they'll show you how much you can save by pre-ordering. So let's go ahead and get this kicked off. First up, we have Big Trouble in Little China, Old Man Jack #1. This is Jack Burton's final ride in the Pork Chop Express. The year is 2020, and hell is literally on Earth. Ching Dai, sick of relying on screw-ups like Lo Pan to do his bidding, has broken the barriers between Earth and the infinite hells and declared himself ruler of all. 60-year-old Jack Burton is alone in a tiny corner of Florida with only his broken radio to talk to until one day it manages to pick up a message. Someone is out there in the hellscape and they know a way to stop Ching Dai. Now this comic's going to ship with a couple different covers. There's a regular cover, there's a subscription action figure variant, there's a 15-copy Will Robson variant. What I like on this, though, I don't see the cover art, but it's a 25-copy incentive variant by Paul Pope. I'm going to go ahead and pre-order that sight unseen because usually Paul Pope does some pretty damn good covers. Lazaretto #1. After a pandemic strikes, a dorm complex at a small American college is quarantined with all the students trapped within. What first starts out as a youthful freedom from authority soon devolves into a violent new society. It's Lord of the Flies on a college campus. Jim Henson Power of Dark Crystal #7. There's a great regular cover for this by Mike Holliston, but there's also a gorgeous subscription variant by Sanaa Takeda, who also does the cover art for Image Comics' monstrous title. Sisters of Sorrow #3. In this issue, Dominique, Greta, and Sarah force Misha to choose between her morality and obtaining justice for her dead son. This is written and created by Sons of Anarchy creator Kurt Sutter, and cover art is by Taj Tenfold, and the art is by Kim Hyun-jin. Black Hammer #13. If you're a fan of Jeff Lemire, you should definitely be reading this comic, especially if you're a fan of like Descender. Definitely read this comic, but in this issue, it was the greatest superhero event of all time, a multiversal crisis. Black Hammer, Abraham Slam, Golden Gale, Barb Alien, Colonel Weird, and even Madame Dragonfly, they united to take down Anti-God, the ultimate evil, on the streets of Spiral City. For 10 years, the former heroes have been living in exile, but a new arrival from the main timeline brought new hope, and maybe, finally, it's time for them to relaunch. There's a regular cover, but what I really like about this is the Jeff Lemire cover, which is an awesome cover swipe of Superman #75. DuckTales #1. In the great experiment of the washing machine, Donald and his nephews visit a top-secret lab chock full of crazy inventions to make life easier, but might make them shorter instead. There's a regular cover, there's a subscription cover, but why I even have this in this video is it's a #1 issue, it's IDW, but there's a 1 in 25 variant for this, and you can get it for $20 on pre-order right now. Hey, might not do anything, but depending on the print run, and everyone loves some DuckTales. I love me some DuckTales, but I don't see too many of these 1 in 25s being out there, so I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to pre-order one myself. Gasolina #1. This is going to be a brand new series from Image. Fugitives, rebels, newlyweds, and their journey south from El Norte, Amalia and Randy have played many roles in order to survive. Now they must become unlikely leaders in the fight against a new cartel who uses inhuman tactics to ignite the most monstrous war Mexico and the world has ever seen. Killer Be Killed #12. It's Dylan versus the Russians, with the whole city is caught in between. Things continue to heat up in the Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips' multiple Eisner-nominated hit. If you guys aren't reading this comic, I suggest you guys start. It's fantastic. Ed Brubaker's writing is absolutely phenomenal. Compare that with Sean Phillips' art. I mean, you can't go wrong. There's a great freaking crime. I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. Also, if you wanted to, you can pre-order the trade paperback on there, and you can pre-order that for $5.99. Either way, I suggest picking this comic book up. Realm #1 is a new series. 15 years ago, our world was overrun by creatures of myth. Orcs, dragons, and other nameless horrors threw the entire planet into total chaos. Today, the shattered remnants of civilization must fight just to survive in a deadly new era of violence and mayhem. While a powerful sorcerer marshals his forces, a group of warriors embark on a journey to reclaim our world from the growing darkness. We're going to have a regular cover for this. There's also going to be a 1-for-1 variant by Tony Moore. Also, you can pre-order this right now for 50% off the cover price at $1.99. Redneck number 6. This is the end of the story arc. Deep in the Heart reaches its blood-drenched finale. All the death and destruction the Bowmans have caused finally leads the authorities to their little farm. Surrounded by cops with no way out. Is this the end for the Bowman clan? Surely, Grandpa will have something to say on the matter. Retcon number 1. There's another new ongoing series from Image. The reboot of a comic book miniseries that has never existed begins with an all-new, all-different issue number 1. Time travel back and jump in on this comic while it was new. Rose number 6. The stakes don't get any higher for Rose and her companions as they face a life and death struggle with the future of the rebellion on the line. Amidst the chaos, one of Rose's companions will make the ultimate sacrifice to save the future of Tetra. Now, while I like the regular cover, I more so like the David Finch variant for this. Sacred Creatures number 3. This comic's going to ship with the regular cover. There's also a regular variant by Klaus Janson, but what I like about this one is there's a 1-in-25 variant by James Herron. Saga number 47. Now, it looks like there's a new character introduced in this. The solicitation says, meet Ianth, who has very big plans for the Will. So, whether it's a big character, small character, who knows? Either way, Saga's a great title. I'll continue to pre-order this. Scales and Scoundrels number 1. This is another new series from Image. It's hard to make an honest living in a land brimming with magic and mystery. And treasure hunter Lavander is tired of being a penniless adventurer. Ever in search of gold and glory, she sets off for a fabled dungeon, the Dragon's Maw, an ancient labyrinth at the bottom of which slumbers endless wealth or certain doom. But what starts out as a road to riches becomes the first step on an epic journey to destiny. For Lavander holds a secret in her heart that will shatter the chains of fate and bring light to a world entrenched upon by ancient darkness. Shirtless Bear Fighter number 4. With his home destroyed and his spirit broken, Shirtless must join forces with a hated enemy if he hopes to rise against Logger and his loyal army of chainsaw-wielding lumberlouts. This comic's going to ship with 3 different covers. You have a regular Andrew Robinson cover, Paolo Rivera cover, and then you also have a Daniel Warren. All of them look to be regular priced 1-for-1 variants. Walking Dead number 171. Fear the Princess. Who is she and what does she want? Looks like we got a new character also in The Walking Dead. Love how Image does these solicits for Saga and Walking Dead with like one line. Either way, pre-order it, add it to your pull list.
Here's Negan. I'm utterly, completely stone cold Negan.
Who is Negan? Since his debut in Walking Dead 100, the charismatic psychopath has antagonized Rick Grimes, murdered his friend with a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, and led saviors into war against Alexandria and the neighboring communities. But who was he before society broke down? That question is answered here in this trade paperback hardcover collection. This covers, I don't know if you guys are aware of Image Plus. Image Plus is basically Image Preview magazine. But when they started this, they started having 2 to 3 pages, and each issue included a 2 to 3 page backstory of Negan. So all those are collected here into one hardcover, and you can pre-order right now. It's regular price $19.99, but you can pre-order for 40% off at $11.99. Misbegotten Runaway Nun number 1. This comes from Action Lab, Danger Zone Comics. In a post-apocalyptic world gone medieval, the church sends the top monk warrior to infiltrate a renegade scientist enclave and kidnap the J-Clone, the Lord's vat-born twin. Saving the holy clone from the cross forces, the monk must confront the truth of his own very immaculate birth. Clones of Marilyn Monroe, Hitler, Gandhi, and Jesus, oh my, Misbegotten is cyberpunk religion gone mad. This comic's also going to ship with 3 different covers. There's a cover A, there's also a cover B by Justin Case, and there's also a cover C. All these covers are by Justin Case. Dark Arc number 1. This comes from Aftershock Comics and is written by Cullen Bunn and art by Juan Doe. It's a new series. The wickedness of mankind has moved the Creator to destroy the world by way of the flood. Noah has been tasked with building an ark to save his family and the animals of the world, but that is not Noah's story. For darker powers have commanded the sorcerer Shrey to build his own ark and save the unnatural creatures of the world such as vampires, dragons, the Naga, and the Manticore. But what will happen on a vessel crawling with monsters where insidious intrigue and horrific violence are the rule of the law? We'll have to find out. There's going to be a regular cover for this, and then there's also going to be a one-for-one variant by Phil Hester. Fujitsu number 1. This is another new series from Aftershock Comics. Fujitsu is the world's smartest boy and has been for the last 100 years. Fu is an unaging genius and has had adventures around the globe and around the galaxy, from Einstein and the Wright brothers to Gandhi and Johnny Unitas. There's going to be a regular cover, then there's also a Greg Smallwood variant which looks to be regular priced as well. Baby Teeth number 4. According to the solicit, this is supposed to be the issue where things get bloody and really hardcore. I love Donny Cates and he's done a brilliant job of writing this comic book, so I'm going to continue to pre-order this as well. President Pence. This is a one-shot from Antarctic Press. When the orange glory fades, it's time for brightest white to shine. Enemies of the state threaten from without and maybe from within. So it's time for the VP to be the MVP and become a VIP. These tales of suspense promise to be a comic book first, a reserved copy second, and a publication third. Sync number 1. This is going to be a 5-issue miniseries from Comics Tribe publisher, a forgotten East End district of a warped funhouse mirror vision of Glasgow, Scotland. Sink Hill is a hive of crooks, deviants, and killers, and ordinary folk unfortunate enough to live among them. Sync is a vicious new crime series from the creative team behind Oxymoron, The Loveliest Nightmare. When Alan misses the last bus home, a wrong turn in his walk home takes him into Sink Hill. There he must face an onslaught of knife-wielding youths, a fox-masked vigilante, and a nightmare lurking in a blue van. Lark's Killer number 2 from Devil's Due Publishing. Lark is on the run again, but this time she has a horse, a head start, and 300 pounds of battle-scarred meanness on her side in the form of her hired killer, Bernard Frogbarding. What's her mysterious enemy to do now except hire its own top assassin to hunt her down? This is the main reason I have this comic in this video is because of the cover artist. It's done by Jenny Friesen. She's getting a lot of gatherings lately. She's starting to heat up a little bit. And this comic, I don't see it having a big print run. The story looks interesting, but the cover to me sells it for me. I think it's going to be a low print run issue and by a cover artist that's really starting to heat up. Street Fighter vs. Darkstalkers number 6. This comic's been doing really good. It's had crossover appeal between gamers and comic readers alike. This issue is going to ship with 3 different covers. There's a regular cover, there's a Tom Whalen cover, there's also going to be a 1 in 10 incentive variant by Rob Porter. Deuce of Hearts number 1. This comes from Vault Comics. Sullivan Huss's life changed the day he was introduced to the Heartbreaker app and the notion that love is just another tradable commodity. What started as a Faustian bargain to restore his good health of a dying man has become a collector's habit. But all the upgrades the app has to offer might not be enough to save Sully from his latest upset spouse. Maxwell's Demons number 1. This is another comic from Vault Comics. Maxwell Moss might be the greatest mind the world has ever known, but at 10 years old, he has a lot to learn. Adventuring to distant worlds through his makeshift multiversal closet door, Maxwell encountered greatness and menace on a cosmic scale. Fans of Game and Sandman will feel at home in this expansive, daring universe of Maxwell's Demons. Reactor number 1. This comes from Vault Comics as well. There's Weep, your average machine gun wielding teenager raised on Earth overrun with vampires. There's Polly, who's landed on Earth with a mission to kill every damn vampire there. And then there's King Luke's heavily fortified blood farm. You do the math. This comes from Donny Cates as well, with art by Dylan Burnett and D. Cuniff. There's also, which I want you to be aware of, there's the regular cover, but there's a 1 in 10 incentive variant for this. I'm going to pre-order the 1 in 10 myself. So there it is, guys. Those are the comics coming out in September that you can pre-order right now during the month of July. All these comics pretty much come from every publisher outside of DC and Marvel. I do apologize for making a longer video. It just didn't make sense for me to break some of these comics up into smaller videos when there's 1 or 2 titles from publishers that I was interested in. Either way, if you feel like there's titles I might have left out, please comment and let me know what you think. Also comment, let me know what titles you're interested in and what you guys think you're going to pre-order or pick up when they come out. But hey, if you like that video, click that thumbs up button for me. Please share this video with friends. Also, as always, if you want to see more of these videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is Brian with Simpleman's Comics in collaboration with Comic Book Speculation Investing. And I'll see you guys next month for these preview videos, but I'll always catch you weekly for my weekly picks. Take care, guys.